What's up, on family? It's Yigal. How are you doing? Hope you're having an amazing day. My day was super busy, lots of phone calls, some coaching. And I wanted to mention really quickly that I had two calls today with potential people to join the mastermind and the alliance. And the same thing keeps on coming up over and over again. So I want to kind of talk to you guys about it. Before that, let me know who's watching. Say hello so I can see you. Uh, it's funny because on StreamYard I can't see who's watching me, but I can see that there's 7 people. So just let me know that you're here. Hey Ford, what's up? Super proud of you for the Impact Challenge, for sure, for getting out there. And so I want to talk to you guys about something that keeps on coming up over and over again in all my conversations. I did get a haircut, Lisa. So Lisa, I actually had a clipper that was broken. I ordered a new battery. It came in yesterday, and I just went to town. Super, super excited. What's up, Jorge? My wife is watching. Hey, babe. How are you? What's up, Seth? How you doing, brother? Shout out to the mastermind members watching. And so the same thing keeps on coming up over and over again. And that is that people don't want to. What's up, Brian? Great to see you. Welcome back. And the comment kept on coming up, and I was addressing it. And the people who I was talking to were kind of backpedaling. And let me explain this. So both conversations said, hey, Yigal, what I really want is I want to stop working myself into the ground. I want to be able to organize this place so that I can go enjoy my family. I can go spend more time with the people that I love or doing the things I love. So before I continue, let me know if that's what you want in your life. If you want to spend more time and not run yourself into the ground, just type time into the chat box so I know that you agree or you disagree. And when I started explaining what a pawnbroker needs to be able to not work themselves into the ground, what I started realizing is that a lot of pawnbrokers have a mindset that they don't want to change. I'm going to say this again. A lot of pawnbrokers have a mindset that they don't want to change. And it's really hard for them to change because they've been this way for the last 10 years, 15 years, 18 years, 24 years. I've heard 43 years before. And I think that we've been taught that you've got to keep working really hard and just, I remember my grandfather used to say, hey, Yigal, if you're not there, isn't everybody stealing from you? Or if you're not there, how is the shop running? I would always go visit him. And my grandfather would say, what are you doing here? And I would say, Grandpa, I'm here to visit you. And he'd be sitting in the pawn shop. And I'd say, I came to visit you. He goes, you should be at work. Isn't everybody stealing from you? You should be at the counter. What are you doing here? He was happy to see me. But that old mentality of having to run the whole show is something that I still hear today from pawnbrokers. Now, do you have to work hard to grow your shop? Yes. Do you have to be there to implement a system and processes and build a great culture so that you can get to that point? Yes, 100%. At the same time, you've got to do it intelligently. And the first step, right, is to build a better culture. Now, people ask me, I wrote some stuff down yesterday. People ask me, Yigal, what about all this, the loan balance is dropping and the lack of merchandise and less customers walking in? You see, the truth is everything stems from 3 things that you need to do. And I turn this around for the 3 balls because we're pawnbrokers, and which is leadership, marketing, and strategy. With loan balances coming down further, this is the time to implement amazing leadership and culture so your team is ready for the marketing that you're going to implement. So that the people who are going to walk in, or the people are going to walk in because they see that incredible marketing that you've implemented. And when they walk in, they get served with such an amazing culture that they don't want to go anywhere else. You see, there's 4 cultures that you need to work on day in and day out. And those cultures are: 1, it's your team, the culture of your team; 2, the culture of your clients; 3, culture with your vendors and service providers; and 4, your family culture. If your team is thinking that everything is just not going to work out, what if bad things happen? What if we don't get there. And if you're living in that fear, your team is going to live in that fear. And to be able to grow your loan balance is going to be very, very tough because they're going to believe in that fear mindset. You have to lead with a vision. You have to lead with a vision that you know that you're going to grow this pawn shop. That, once again, I'm going to call this the big pawn reset. I'm going to hashtag that. I should trademark it, whatever you want to do. This is the big pawn reset. Whatever you were doing before that wasn't working wasn't really affecting you much. But today, it's going to affect you hardcore. And unless you learn how to lead the team, build that culture, be a coach for them, and use marketing tactics, like I said, to sow the seed, to pick the fruit in the future, and then strategize to be able to get where you want, those things that you were doing, those mistakes that you were making, are going to creep up on you on such an exponential level that it's going to smack you upside the head one day. This is the big pawn reset. This is going to separate those who have been operating under the radar, those who have been operating with methods used years ago, and those who are operating at a higher level, those who are operating with better leadership, marketing, and strategy. It's why I created Power Up Pawn, the online event for pawnbrokers happening June 15th. You should check it out. You should sign up for it. I will put a banner here so you guys can check that out. And but this is, and just like for restaurants as well, it's the same thing, all types of businesses. But this is a big pawn reset. This is the great pawn reset. And if you're not willing to invest in yourself and in your team to learn how to take it to the next level, to be held accountable, then you're not going to get the opportunity to reset and move forward. What might happen is reset, and somebody said it here, evolve or dissolve. That's what Seth said, right? So you can either go through this reset and evolve, or you can go through this reset and dissolve. That was beautifully said, Seth. Thank you for that. This big pawn reset that's happening at the moment is scaring the bejesus out of a lot of, big pawnbrokers out there because their pawn balances drop to the floor. Their sales are going crazy, yes, but that's not because you're great salespeople. That's because people have more money than ever, have more time than ever, and need what you have more than ever. So this is the time. This is the time to power up. This is the time to power up your pawn shop, to power up your leadership, your strategy, and your marketing. And if you don't want to get worked into the ground, which is what a lot of you have been doing currently, Jennifer says, I'm already worn out. Well, imagine when your store is packed, and that's hopefully, like, I want to say something. Everyone's talking about, waves and different methods of all these pawns coming in. It doesn't mean they're going to come back to you. I'm sorry. It doesn't mean that your loan balance is going to go back to where it was. If you don't market and brand and step into a leadership role within your community, it's not going to happen. It might uptick a little bit if you went from 150 to 100 or 150 to 75. You might go back to 100, but to 150, I'm seeing people's, Facebook pages and websites that haven't been updated in 15 years. A post hasn't been made. I see people's mission statement that hasn't been updated, or they don't even have one. I see people talking about, one of the calls today talked about how, that the staff fights so much. And that they have an open door policy, but they're consistently fighting. But we're like family. That infighting, family or not, is going to destroy your culture. Those are the pawn pirates. You might be the pawn pirate because you're allowing it to happen and not holding your team accountable. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can choose to run yourself into the ground, or you can choose to walk above ground with your family in good health, with a smile on your face. And it only happens with investing in yourself. Only happens in investing in your future. Because when that reset button, which is, on the Power Up logo, the Power Up Pawn logo, there's a big power button. And we did that on purpose. One, to show that it's time to power back up, right? And two, because unfortunately, some shops, that power button is not going to work anymore. It's just not going to work. And it might not be, soon enough, but it might be in a little bit of time, but it's not going to work. Unless you're doing something differently, holding yourself accountable, being a part of a group of people who are investing in themselves as well to be able to learn and grow. Nick says it was Monday. We got to work today. We didn't have to. Winning culture, 100%. And that's because Nick has been working on culture for a while and his leadership. It's a mastermind member right there. Shout out to the mastermind once again. If you want to chat, I'll post a link where you can have a strategy call with me. It's 30 minutes where I try to give you as much information as possible. Sign up for the Power Up Pawn event. It's going to be awesome. Just think today and say, do I want to work myself into stress, into sickness, into the ground, or do I want to walk on this earth currently with some money in my pocket, with some health, with some wealth, with some love and relationships? Tyler, reach out to me, man. I'll send you a message. So we do have some spots open for the Alliance for sure. If you are a store leader, you want to, and Scott Nell said this the best, if you want to kind of what do you say? He said, if you want to put your toes in the pawn leader's pond, if you want to test the waters, Alliance is a great program. I'll reach out to you, Tyler, or send me a message on Facebook and we'll get connected. But it doesn't, and I love that Tyler reached out, because it doesn't matter what position that you're in, you still need to learn. You need to up your level. If you're a store manager, if you're a regional manager, if you're a director of operations, it doesn't matter what that is. There's space for anybody in the pawn leaders. So with that said, shout out to the mastermind. For those of you who've signed up for the Alliance, can't wait to start. And go to powerupppawn.com. So excited. We'll be announcing speakers later this week. 20 plus speakers. It's all virtual. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to sit in a chair for hours upon hours. And it's going to be an experience that you've never had before, and super looking forward to it. So once again, thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for listening to me. I appreciate you. And think about it. In the ground, above ground. I do want to say something. There are people who are already dead, but they're still living. And I'm sure you've heard that before. And you don't deserve to live like that. You deserve to live an epic life with happiness. And that takes structure and process. That takes planning and a pawn planner and leading and culture. And it takes believing in yourself. And if not, come into the pollinators and I'm going to coach and I'm going to believe in you so hard that you're going to believe in yourself. As I talked to somebody today who joined the mastermind, I said, you're going to throw some fumbles, you're going to throw some interceptions, but I'm going to be there every single yard until we hit those touchdowns. Jennifer says, thanks for this, Yigal. I had the I give up feeling today between being closed, pivoting towards online, phone, etc., and homeschooling my 11-year-old daughter. It's just a lot, 100%. Take a breath. It's a lot for you. It's a lot for your team. And today I'm going to have an epic conversation. Tomorrow I'm going to have an epic conversation in the mastermind about how to communicate to your team And I'm looking forward to that. So reach out to me. We'll find a great fit for you in the Pawn Leaders world, in the Pawn Leaders tribe. That's what the Pawn Leaders are. We're a tribe. We fight for each other. We go to war for each other. And if you're in the mastermind, you agree with me, right? Right? Hashtag, Pawn Tribe. I know everyone calls it the Pawn Family, but those who are in the circle of the Pawn Leaders or the Pawn Tribe, and I believe in you. You're worth a lot more, and remember that. And you owe it to the people in your life to invest in yourself and your education and in your growth as a leader in the pawn industry, in your growth as a marketer in the pawn industry, in your growth as a strategist in the pawn industry, and your growth as an entrepreneur or leader to your family and your community. Because when you step foot into the pawn leader's pond, as Scott says, you become part of the pawn tribe. I love that. And when you become part of the pawn tribe, you become part of just a tribe that goes to war for each other and fights for each other and is there for each other through thick and thin. So if you want to jump into the pawn tribe, reach out to me. I'm going to post a link for a strategy session. It's no cost to you. I want to give you my time so that you can take the time to see if growth is what you want in your life or if just staying the same is what you want in your life. My hope is that growth is what you want in your life. My hope is that you want to grow for your family and you want to grow for those around you in your community and most importantly for yourself. So here's the link for a strategy session with me. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I love you all. To my Pawn Tribe, I'll see you tomorrow on Wednesday. To the Pawn family, thanks for being here. And we'll see you soon.